An ethical dilemma you faced and how you resolved it.
Can't necessarily say it was an ethical dilemma based on my upbringing and training I received, but it's definitely a hard decision. Uh, a hard arrest more than hard decision. Uh, on patrol year two, so I'm pretty new into it. A car's coming toward me, and they're 22, 23 miles an hour over the speed limit. Obviously, they recognize that I'm law enforcement and probably going to get pulled over. So as I start to turn around, I can see in my rearview mirror the headlights illuminate for different areas, indicating that they're turning around or turning on a side street in an attempt to elude me. As I turn back and we're cresting over the top of the hill, I find out that were trying to turn around, but crashed their car into a ditch. As I'm walking up to the car, the occupant gets out, and at that point in time I recognize who it is. And who I recognize it to be is my former FTO training officer while I'm in the jail. So I'd worked with him for a couple years, been side by side with him for several months as I was going through the field training officer program inside the jail. And so as I'm talking to him, he's obviously intoxicated. And so I got to make the decision to arrest him. And I make the decision. It's not a hard decision, but it's difficult at the same time because it's someone I know well. But I got to look at it from the standpoint that he made that decision for me. He's the one that chose to get behind the wheel after having too much to drink, and so the decision was easy, even though it was difficult. If that makes any sense, it just, taking a friend, and unfortunately you got to make difficult decisions at difficult times sometimes. So don't have no regrets about making the decision. I make it again, but at the same time it was a very difficult arrest because I knew the person well.
Very good. Thank you. Okay, next question. How would you boost morale and maintain retention within the department?
There's lots of ways to boost morale. One, obviously you got to hold your employees accountable for their actions, but that's not always a negative thing. You hold them accountable when they do things right, and make sure that they are recognized for doing their job well and the way you expect them. It's not just about, well, that's their job, they're supposed to do that. Yeah, but it's still nice to let them know that you appreciate them doing it well, and if they go above and beyond, then do something a little extra for them from time to time, just to let them know that as a supervisor you see their hard efforts and the hard work that they do. By doing that, you increase the morale, and then that would transcend to people being happier and feeling more valued at their job. They're not likely to leave. For the retention, it's about making them valued, getting them. The other way you make them valued is by offering them specialized training. In my mind, it could be trying to get a canine program where you have a couple canine units, one on each side of the week, and let someone work up to become that canine officer, which is a specialty field, and that's very important to a lot of officers, and offer some of that specialized training for them to further their career with that. So to me, that's the biggest portion of how to make them feel valued, how to get them to stay, and also at the same time reduce your attrition rate from the department.
Okay, thank